I want to walk you through a story about outside influence in the Wisconsin Department of Justice, and I'm going to let the evidence tell the story. On December 15, 2025, a special committee created in the Wisconsin Senate about investigating whether the Wisconsin Department of Justice was being influenced by outside partisan groups. Why did we need a special committee? Well, let's back up. In 2016, New York University School of Law receives an initial multi-million-dollar grant from Bloomberg Philanthropies. It's used to create State Energy and Environmental Impact Center. The stated goal is to place their attorneys inside progressive state attorney general's offices across the country. How do we know that? Well, they told us. In an email directly from the center to then Attorney General candidate Josh Kaul, they say, "We are working with progressive AGs around the country." In 2019, within months of AG Kaul being in office, the Wisconsin DOJ quietly signs a deal with a group called the Public Rights Project, a liberal-funded nonprofit. The legislature never approved these positions, nor were we ever told. In November of 2021, the DOJ signs a second deal, this time directly with the New York University State Impact Center. The center pays the salary of attorneys working inside Wisconsin's Department of Justice. On paper, the DOJ called these attorneys volunteers, even though they were paid $90,000 a year by the New York University Center. And New York University could fire them anytime. So who do they really work for? Roll the clip.
Using the colloquial term volunteer is not how I would describe them. That's how it is in the state employment framework.
When Attorney General Josh Kaul was asked under oath about calling a salaried employee a volunteer, he acknowledged the word didn't actually describe the attorneys. And what work did these volunteer attorneys do? Well, we don't know the full extent of what they worked on because the list the DOJ provided us was incomplete. So these attorneys are working on behalf of the DOJ and prosecuting Wisconsinites. They're following the law, right? Questionable. And here's where it gets really strange. Wisconsin law requires that assistant attorneys generals be appointed in writing, that the appointment be filed with the Secretary of State, and that they take an oath of office before they start work. Every single one of the special assistant attorney generals violated that. The first State Impact Center attorney, Zach Corrigan, bad boy Zach, he took his oath of office 2 months after starting working at the DOJ. The second, Karen Heineman, not good, was assigned at least 3 cases before she ever took her oath. Her oath wasn't even filed with the Secretary of State for an additional 6 months after that. They each swore they had not entered upon the duties of the office. That was false. Also happening in 2022, some big money moves. Michael Bloomberg, the Democrat billionaire who funds the New York University Center, paying for the attorneys inside the Department of Justice, gave the Democrat Party of Wisconsin $500,000. Over the following months, the Democrat Party of Wisconsin funneled just about that exact same amount into Josh Kaul's re-election campaign. You be the judge of that one. February 2025, a formal ethics complaint was filed with the Wisconsin Ethics Commission stating that AG Kaul violated Wisconsin law by accepting free legal services. And what did the DOJ think about this complaint? They said people need to get a life. So now we're all caught up. In December of 2025, the Senate forms a special committee, requests all related documents from the Department of Justice, but in January of 2026, the DOJ misses the deadline for the documents. When they finally turn over the documents, it's not all of them. In February of 2026, the committee subpoenaed and heard testimony directly from AG Kaul. He defended the practice and defended the violations of Wisconsin law, allowing outside interest groups to prosecute Wisconsinites. If I understand this correctly, Wisconsin farmers need to follow the law, Wisconsin businesses need to follow the law, Wisconsin citizens need to follow the law, but not the Wisconsin Department of Justice? I don't think so, Josh.